good morning. It is Tuesday, April 28th, and this is our math lesson for today. So right now we're on Envisions 12.4, or 12-4, and today's lesson is adding fractions, which we've done a long time ago, but it's a little bit of a twist. It's adding fractions with denominators of 10 and 100, so the denominators are not the same. So before we get into actually today's objective, I want to do a little review so we can refresh our memories of adding fractions. So I have an example over here. So when we add fractions, we always have to look to make sure our denominators are the same. So in this case, they are 8 and 8. Perfect. So really, when we add fractions, think for a second in your head, what do we have to do? If you said add the top, you are correct. So we're going to add regular. 3 plus 2 is 5. My husband's not down here with me tonight, so he can't yell out the answers. And the denominator stays the same, so 8. 3/8 plus 2/8 equals 5/8. Let's try another one. Okay, 4/10 plus 3/10. So 4/10, 4 plus 3 is 7. And we have the same denominator. They're both 10. So that we're going to stay exactly the same. So 4/10 plus 3/10 equals 7/10. So as you see, you add the top and your denominators at the bottom will stay the same. But they have to be the same in order to add. Because imagine this. Imagine you have a chocolate bar and you and your, let's say your brother, your sister, or someone in your family has another chocolate bar, same exact size. But your chocolate bar you break in half and they break it into 4 pieces. So really, if you ate 1 piece and they ate 1 piece, who has actually eaten more? You, because your pieces are bigger. So that's why you can't add your piece and their piece together and say, oh, I have 2 pieces, because your piece is so much bigger than theirs. That's why we have to have the denominators the same. So now our example here, and now we did have a little preview of this the other day. Remember when we were comparing comparing decimals? When we were comparing decimals, we actually did do what we're going to do today for this. All right, so let's look at our example. We have 3/10 plus 27 hundredths. Now we know tenths and hundredths are different. Tenths are much bigger. They're like the big pieces. And hundredths are tiny little boxes. So we can't add these. We want to make sure our 2 denominators are exactly the same. Now, we're going to take the 10 and make it 100. So let's think. What do we need to multiply? We did do this the other day. What do we need to multiply the 10 by to get 100? Because remember, we're looking for an equivalent fraction, and there's 2 ways to get an equivalent fraction. We can multiply, same number top and bottom, or we can divide, same number top and bottom. All right, so we're thinking 10 times what equals 100? 10 times 10. You said 10, you were right. So now we have to, I'm going to just erase this a little bit and move it over. Whatever we multiply the bottom by, we have to multiply the top by. So we're going to change, so if we do 10 times 10 is 100, and 3 times 10 equals 30. So our 3/10 changes to 30 100ths. Now, I bet you, since we did this a couple of times already, you're kind of getting the idea that if you're timesing it by 10, you're really adding a 0 to the top and to the bottom. So 30 over 100. Now, our 27 hundredths stays the same. And we're going to add them. So 30 plus 27 equals 57. And 100, we don't add these, right? We just keep it the same. It was nice that we did this the other day in a lesson, so we were a little advanced in that lesson when we were comparing decimals. So we have some background knowledge already on how to do this. And we also have a lot of background knowledge on equivalent fractions, so we know how to do this. So there's our example. Let's do some practice ones together. All right, so we look up here. We have 5 tenths plus 73 hundredths. We have to change the tenth to be hundredth. We need to change that 10 to make it 100. What do we do to the 10 to get 100? Everyone? If you said multiply by 10, you were right. It's very lonely teaching a lesson all by myself. I really miss you guys. I mean, I miss you always, but down here in the basement, talking to my phone. So I miss you. Alrighty, so we're going to multiply this by 10. Same number, top and bottom. Remember, to make an equivalent fraction, you multiply, same number, top and bottom. All right, so 5 times 10 is 50. 10 times 10 is 100. We leave the 73 hundredths alone. And then when we add, we get 123 over 100. Oh, guess what? That's an improper fraction. That's not going to, that we can't leave. So let's see if we refresh some memories. If we have an improper fraction, that means our number on top is bigger than our number on bottom. We need to fix it. So how many times does 100 go into 123? Imagine we have 123 little blocks on the desk. How many groups of 100 can I make? I have 123. How many groups of 100 can I make? I can make one group with 23 remaining. 23. So 1 and 23 hundredths. Okay, so let's look at this one. We have 89. Hopefully my head's not getting cut off. 89 over 100 plus 1/10. 89 hundredths plus 1/10. So this we're going to leave. We're going to change our 10, right? So we're going to we have to multiply top and bottom. All right, so 1 times 10 is 10. 10 times 10 is 100. We're going to leave our 89 hundredths exactly the same. And then we're going to add 89 plus 10 is 99 hundredths. All right. If you have any questions, you just send me a message on Edmodo. Like if you're not sure how I'm doing this, and what's going to be really nice is tomorrow we are going to be meeting for math. So you can ask me if you're stuck on anything. You can just save your question. You can ask me, or you just always, message me today. But if you want to just talk to me, person, you can wait till tomorrow. And as a reminder, today you are going to be doing Daily Common Core 12-4. I added it as an attachment to today's math lesson, and you can either print it out and do it on that, or I know there's always problems with printers, so if your printer is not working, or you don't have ink, or you don't have paper, whatever the problem is, it's fine. Just look at it on the screen, and you can do the problems on another piece of paper. And then when we get together for our Zoom meetings, we're going to go over those. We're going to do all of them, which I'm really excited to do. And we're going to do it in small group, which is going to be great because then we can actually talk to everyone. And I'll probably be in my basement again. So, alrighty, back to the math. So we have 1/10 plus 34 hundredths. We want to make my 10 be the same as this. You cannot add fractions with different denominators. And right now they're different, so we have to make them the same. And to make it the same, we're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply what times 10 equals 100? Well, we know it's 10 over 10 over 10. So 1 times 10 is 10. 10 times 10 is 100. Let's see, I get a better angle here. All right, 10 hundredths plus 34 hundredths is 44 hundredths. We can get fancy and we can reduce here if we'd like. If you want to leave it in a format that you're going to keep it in decimals, you have to leave it in tenths and hundredths. But in regular fraction world, you can reduce this, and I could reduce this. I could divide it. They're both even numbers. Remember, it's both even numbers. We can divide by 2. Actually, we can divide by 4 because 4 goes into 44 11 times, and 4 goes into 125 times. So this would actually reduce to 22. Oh no, 22. Sorry, 11 over 25. But like I said, if you want to leave it and be able to go into a decimal format, you couldn't reduce it. You'd have to leave it like that. And this decimal, 44 hundredths, would be that. This decimal would be 99 hundredths. Oh, this one's different because this has a whole number. So this would be 1 and 23 hundredths. So let's do this one and see. All right, so we're going to change this. I know what to do now, right? I'm going to multiply 10 over 10. 2 times 10, 20. 10 times 10, 100. So 2 tenths is equal to 20 hundredths. We're going to add. And this 54 hundredths, 54 plus 20 is 74 over 100. And that decimal, think about it for a second. Think. 74 hundredths. 74 hundredths, exactly what you say. Decimal point, 74. And remember, we can always put a 0 here in the ones column. Here we don't have to because there's a 1 there. Alrighty, well hopefully my head was not cut off with this video. And so this was adding fractions with unlike denominators, but the denominators were 10 and 100. And we're going to do this lesson again tomorrow. So we'll do some practice today and some practice tomorrow. And I really am looking forward to seeing you in groups tomorrow. So today, make sure you do your daily Common Core review 12-4. It's like 5 word problems, but they're not super difficult word problems, and they're like a spiral review. It's like reviewing things that we've already done. Alrighty, everyone. And I miss you. Wish you were all here. Or actually, I wish I was all with you in our classroom. You wouldn't want to be in my basement. It would be too many of us down here. Alrighty. Miss you guys. Bye.